Hey, what's up everybody? It's Guy in Kicks here, back at it again with another review. I have my Yankee hat on today in honor of the greatest Yankee I've ever seen, Derek Jeter. He got inducted into the Hall of Fame today, so that is a super exciting moment for all Yankees fans. Definitely excited for that. So with that out the way, let's jump into it. Let's talk sneakers. Today's review is going to be on a New Balance silhouette that I've been asked to review for quite a while. The New Balance 997 is the first time I get a chance to review it here on the channel, and I'm excited to talk about it. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Today's review is on the New Balance 997 Desert Heat Pack. So since this is the first time me reviewing a New Balance 997, let's backtrack a little bit and let's talk a little bit of the history of the 997. So the 997 officially released in 1990, and it was designed by Steven Smith, who I like to call the GOAT of dad sneakers. If you guys don't know who Steven Smith is, he's also famously known for designing the Yeezy 700 Wave Runner. The 997 is actually the fourth silhouette of the 99X line. You know, the whole numbering is so weird because you would think they would go in order, but that's not the case. So the first one that came out was the 990, then it was the 995, the 996, and then the 997. When the 997 released, it was the one that had the more drastic change out of the previous three models. One of the main design changes of the 997 was that it was designed to resemble like a fast car. So that's why the 997 has a more sleeker look compared to the 990, 995, and 996 at the time. Another major change of the 997 was that it ditched the traditional exposed EVA foam that you find on the previous three models. If you go back and look at those, the 997 ditched the exposed EVA foam for a more durable and like harder material in a polyurethane midsole. Another added feature of the 997 was that they added the XAR1000 carbon rubber heel pad as well. One of the main things that I noticed on this 997 in terms of materials was this white material that you'll see around the eyelets and the heel collar of the shoe. At first I wasn't sure if this was leather, if it was some kind of plastic. Obviously it's not leather. Once you see it in person and you touch it, you know it's not leather, but it's definitely some kind of plastic material. And basically what that is a hydro thermoplastic collar lockdown strap that connects the eyelets to the heel counter of the shoe for additional stability and support. Another cool detail or information of the 997 is that at the time, the New Balance 997 was the first New Balance runner that also had female sizes as well. The New Balance 997 also offered different fits. So if you had narrow feet to wide feet, it had the different range of fits for you to choose from. So with that out the way, let's jump into this Desert Heat 997. So this one released on July 4, 2017 for a retail price of $210. I pulled the trigger on this one and I bought it through StockX. I got it at a pretty reasonable price, definitely not for $210 for sure. But you know, I wanted a 997 and I didn't want to go with the traditional gray, even though I love grays and that's usually the one I kind of go for right off the bat. But I wanted something different and I love this colorway for sure, because it does have some neutral colors, but then it does have some pop here around the mudguard. So starting with the colorway on this 997, on the mudguard here, you'll find this apricot color, basically like a orange, you know, peach type, you know, color spectrum. You know, to me, it kind of looks like a light coral color. You also have this sail white color on the tongue, on the mid panels, and the mesh material here on the toe box. Around the toe box here, you'll also find this nice brown color, which you'll also see on the end logo, on the heel collar of the shoe, and also in the sock lining and behind the tongue as well. And then the heel counter on this 997, it's in this nice olive green color, which is one of my favorite colors on the shoe. The laces are also in the sail color and they're made out of cotton. The midsole is obviously all white except for the 997 New Balance branding there. The heel stabilizer is in the gray color. The outsole is also in the gray color. And then here around the mid part of your foot, you'll find the New Balance branding in that particular part of the outsole. It's in white. In terms of the materials, the upper is primarily made out of the suede overlays, and then you have the mesh underlays as well. One of my favorite design features of this 997 is the brown suede that they use here. Reason for that is that as you look close here, you'll be able to notice that the brown suede has like this faux reptile skin design, which I think is very, very cool. Around the heel collar of the 997, you'll find a strip of 3M that goes from the lateral side to the medial side. Another thing to point out is that on the front of the tongue, you'll find the New Balance Made in USA embroidered. Here you have the official tag and SKU. Because these were made in 2017, this was the box that was being used for the Made in USA sneakers. I like this box a lot. Obviously it adds some color, not like the one that's being used now that is just gray and white. Here you have the red, white, and blue, which is very cool, and then New Balance logos throughout. When it comes to sizing, I would recommend sticking with your traditional Made in USA size. If you never own a pair of Made in USA's, then go a half size down from your traditional Nike and Adidas sneakers. So for example, if you have a Retro 1, then go a half size down from that one. If you're someone who has really wide feet, then consider the other fit options for those that have wide feet. If you can't find that fit, then maybe consider going half a size up. The only thing with going half a size up is that because the shoe is sort of narrow and long, you may experience some heel slippage. That's what happened to me when I got my 998s. I went with a size 10 on those because I figured, the shoe kind of looks a little narrow, so I didn't want it to fit too tight around my toe area. So that one I do get a little bit of heel slippage, but with this one, the 9.5 for me fits a lot better than the size 10 on the 998. And there are a lot of similarities between the 997 and the 998. So just consider that if you're someone with, wide feet. In terms of comfort and how the shoe feels, I do have to say that because of this polyurethane midsole, the shoe feels a little bit stiffer and a little bit firmer compared to a 992. But the shoe, at least my first impression, still feels like it's gonna be a shoe that's gonna feel comfortable throughout the day. And I'm not really gonna have much problem wearing this for regular lifestyle. All right, guys, so my overall take on my first 997 is that first impression, when it comes to materials, suede, everything is spot on, man. Doesn't disappoint. Really, really good job here, especially for a shoe that's already over 4 years old. Definitely feels very, very good, very premium for sure. The only area that I messed up was that when I was lacing these, I kind of got the laces stuck a little bit and I ended up pulling one of the threads of the laces. So that's a little bit of a bummer there. Not that the laces feel cheap or anything like that, but it was one of those things that I probably messed up. I was trying to lace part of the shoes with the shoe on. I should have just taken them off and laced them the right way. So that's my bad. But that's kind of one of those things. Just kind of be careful when lacing these up. You don't want to pull any of the threads on the laces and then you're stuck with this. So I'm gonna have to either clip these, maybe burn them a little bit so it doesn't come out again. So overall, I really like this 997. Definitely happy to have it in my collection. I really like the design of the 997. I see why a lot of people like this model. It's definitely a shoe that, it came out in 1990 and, over 30 years later, the shoe is still doing its thing. So that definitely tells you how big this shoe is in the whole 99X line. So with all that being said, let me lace these up, let me throw these on and show you how they look on feet. Alright guys, so that's it for me. Hopefully this video brought you a detailed look of the New Balance 997 Desert Heat Pack. Let me know in the comments below how you feel about the 997 model. Is it one of your favorite ones? How do you feel about this colorway as well? Also for the new subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate you so much. To those that are back to the channel, again, thank you for always tuning in. If you're new to the channel, it's your first time stopping by. If you like sneaker reviews, if you love sneakers, you've come to the right place. Feel free to subscribe if you like. I'll leave a link to my Instagram page below where you guys can go follow me there as well. I normally post, pictures of sneakers I've gotten, whatever I'm rocking or whatever. I've also been posting a lot of, restock or shock drops. I'll post them on my story to give you guys a heads up to buy. Because, that's one of the best things, when I share something on my story and somebody hits me up like, yo, man, thanks for sharing that. That just gives me a lot of joy to be able to, help somebody get a W because, sometimes they're so hard to get. So definitely go follow me there as well. And that's it, guys. Catch you guys in the next one. See ya.